Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. How are you all students? Hope you are all fine and having a good time and enjoying with your family as well. Keep touch with your study. And I am your English teacher, and today I am here with the new topic of a grammar, that is the past continuous tense. In the previous lecture we also read about the present continuous tense and in a very detailed form, and today we will discuss about the past continuous tense. First of all, what is the meaning of the past? Past, which means that is past continuous tense. The past continuous tense, as you know that the past which means something that happened, continuous which means that something is continue. If we compare the past continuous with the simple past, then how can we differentiate? First of all, we can call the past continuous tense the past progressive tense. We can say that you can say that is another name. The past continuous tense, past progressive tense, which means something is happening, something is continue, but not right now. That happened in past. Something is happening in the past, not in the present. So we can say that this one is a past continuous tense. If we compare the past continuous tense with the only simple past indefinite tense, and the simple continuous tense, what's the difference between these two types of the past indefinite and the simple past continuous? If we talk about the past indefinite, then we can say that something has happened. But if we talk about the simple continuous tense, simple past continuous tense, we can say that something is happening, but not right now in the past, and also something that has happened in the past at the specific time. This is the briefing about the past continuous. If we compare the past continuous with the simple past indefinite and the simple past continuous, then we can say that the past, which means that is something happened but in a specific time, but happened long years ago, 1 month ago, 1 week ago, but that is happened not relevant to right now. But if we talk about the simple past continuous tense, which means that something is happening but not right now, something is happening but in the past. This one is the briefing and the description. Just for example, I have a timeline. Just for example, I draw a line and I just divide it into 3 portions. This one is called a timeline. You can say that this one is a timeline. But in the I divide it into the 3 portions, and the first portion I write here the 8 a.m. just for the timing, and here I write here just 5 p.m. and again 8 p.m. This one is the timeline. Just for example, I draw a line, I divide it into the 3 portions just for the clarification, just for to comparison. So here's the timeline. First one 8 a.m. First line is showing 8 a.m. Second one is a 5 p.m. and again 8 p.m. a.m. is the morning time, p.m. is the evening time, you can say. If I say I started a study, I just started study. When I started studied 8 a.m. which means that in the morning time. So that thing is happened. I started a study in the morning, which means that I started 8 a.m. which means this thing is showing the past indefinite, the simple past, and that is happened. But if I say that I was studying at 5 p.m. this thing is showing that now I am saying that I was studying but in the 5 p.m. which means that this thing is showing something is continually happened but not right now in the past, which means I was studying but in the past, but now I am studying at 8 till Now you can say that this one is a now, this one is a past, and this one is a continuous. This is the description. So which means firstly I started study 8 p.m. that thing is happened. That is 8 a.m. I don't know 8 a.m. in the morning, but I was studying, but I am doing something. I was studying, I am cooking, I am preparing something, which means action was performing, but not right now. That is in the past, and now that is called I am studying now, which means this one is a present continuous. Okay, now talk about the helping verb, identification, recognition, and the formation. First of all, if we talk about the identification, we can say that, okay, first of all, let's talk about how can we guess that this one is a past continuous tense and a past progressive tense, just for the recognition, because first point is just to recognize and just to identify. The identification, the recognition of this tense is the raha tha, rahi thi, rahe the, because in the exams we will find and the question paper appear, the statement will be appear in the form of the Urdu. We can say that. Now the second point is that the helping verb, because we need helping verb. We just need to put the helping verb, and without the helping verb we can't solve any statement, we can't solve and we can recognize and differentiate. This one is a past continuous, this one is a past progressive, this one is a simple continuous tense. So helping verb, in this helping verb we have the two type of the helping verb. First one is a was and the second one is the were. These are the two types of the helping verb. Now the question is that how we can use the was and the were individually. Was and the were we use I and we use I, he, she, it. Then we use the was with these subjective words, and if we talk about the were, then we use we, they, you. Then we use the verb with these subjective words. These are the two types of the helping verb we have to use in the past continuous and the past progressive tense. Third point is that the form of the verb. We will use the first form, but with the addition of the ing, that is called the present participle. So here the formation of the tense is very clear right now after the long description of these points and the long description of this tense. Formation, how can we form a tense? Just for example, in the Urdu statement, we can say that ladke shor macha rahe the. Now first of all, just first to identify whether this sentence is a past continuous and this tense is a past progressive. Ladke shor macha rahe the, and the ending point is the rahe the, which means then this one is relate to the past continuous tense, and we have to convert according to the past continuous tense. And just to focus, second one is the helping verb, to put the helping verb accurately and in a correct way. Third one is just to use the form of the verb. Firstly, ladke, how many boys? Boys are the plurals here, not the singular, not only the one boy. There are so many boys. Just to plural we will use the verb, because the singular he, she, it, and the singular we use the was, and the verb we use for the plural one. So here's the boys were at the first form make with the addition ing, making noise. This is the whole description, and this is the way how we can deal the past continuous tense in the affirmative, in a simple, in the negative, and in the interrogative. These are the another description and another. Now the example in the simple affirmative tense in the past continuous and the past progressive is ladke shor macha rahe the. Here's the first of all to put the subjective words, subject the boys, just for the, because boys are plural, not the single boys, just to use the verb. The boys were making, just to add the first form with the addition of the ing. The boys were making noise. This one is the description of the whole tense, simple affirmative past. Okay, the next part of the past continuous tense and the past progressive tense is the negative. Negative, which means how can we guess this one is a negative statement? Just to put the not, but not in the English. As you know, students, in the exams the question will be appear in the form of the Urdu and we have to convert into the English. In the Urdu, just for example, if we have the nahi, which means we can easily and quickly find out that and guess that this one is a negative statement and we have to convert into the negative statement. How can the criteria, the method, the helping verb will be remain same, just to add with a little bit addition. And the how we can convert into the negative statement, just for example, I have the same example, because the helping verb, was verb, we already discussed about the was verb. These are the two types of the helping verb. We just use the was with the he, she, it, the singular, and the verb we use the verb with the plural ones and the you and the they. Just to convert into the negative is a very easy statement. Just I am taking the same example, ladke शोर नहीं The second part is the negative statement and I am taking the same example, लड़के शोर नहीं मचा रहे. Your first priority is just to identify this one is a negative, this one is an interrogative or not. As you know, for the not we have the identification and the recognition in the Urdu form nahi, and now we have to convert into the not. How can we convert it? Because we have the same helping verb, because we are doing the past continuous and the past progressive in the second part negative. We have the same helping verb, we have the same identification and same form of the verb with the addition of the ing, that is the present participle. So here I am going to convert into the English. First of all, to identify where is the subject, because the ladke is performing an action, so we can say that ladke is a subject. So firstly put here the boys. Now find out where is the verb, which means something is happening, the action is happening. So here's making a noise, but just to put the negative to add a not, the boys, and the firstly put the helping verb, because boys are plural. I already discussed about the boys are plural, not I am not discussing about, and I am not talking about the only one boy. So here's the boys, just to put the helping verb for the plural one, the boys were not. Now put the not very after with the helping verb, the boys were not making. Just to make is the first form, but we are doing the past continuous tense, just to addition of the ing, that is the present participle. The boys were not making noise. So this one is the conversion of the simple continuous into the simple continuous in the negative form in the second part into the English. The boys were not making a noise. I have the another example, just for example, वो गाना नहीं गा रही थी. Firstly, just to identify, just to recognize the identification rahi thi identification of the past progressive, and you can say that past continuous tense. And the second one is the nahi, which means we are doing and we have to do it into the negative statement according to the pattern, according to the criteria to solving into the negative statement. Just to focus wo, which means that wo we use the wo with the plural one, but here rahi thi I am talking, this statement is preferring, is only discussing about and the explanation only about the one girl. So one girl is a singular one, so we have to convert it according to, and we have to put the helping verb according to the singular subjective verbs. Firstly, to write here subject she is a singular, so put here she was, and the not for the negative one, she was not sing is the first form, just to addition for the present participle ing, because we are doing the past continuous tense, she was not singing a song. This one is the example of the negative. The third part of the past continuous tense is the interrogative part. How can we judge this one is the interrogative and not concerned to the negative, not concerned to the affirmative? Because if we have the question mark at the end of a statement, then we can easily and quickly guess that this one is an interrogative statement. But just for example, for the misconception, there is no question mark at the end of your statement. How can we guess that this one is an interrogative one? Just for example, for the misprint, you cannot have, and there's a no question mark at the end of your statement. How can we guess? We can guess with the helping verb that comes at the very beginning of your statement, is, am, are, was, were, and so on. But this is the only first part. This is the only first type. Second part, just for example, WH family, why, where, who. These are also the interrogative subjective words. These are the two types of the interrogative statement. Firstly, start with the is, am, are. These are the called the helping verb as well called the be forma verb as well called the auxiliary verb. Second one, the WH family, WHY, where, who. They also start at the beginning of your statement and the start up your statement. These are called the interrogative. If the statement start these subjective words, you can easily say that this one is an interrogative statement. You have to convert it according to the interrogative criteria. So as I am taking the same example, क्या वो गाना गा रही थी, and put the question mark. Because the helping verb remains same, the identification remains same, the use of the former verb remains same, just to use and just the pattern of the solving is changed. क्या वो गाना गा रही है, क्या, what, we will not use the English of the क्या, what is not necessary to put at the start of your sentence. So here to start with the was a verb, because here I'm talking about this statement is relevant about a girl, only a single girl. To put here a girl was, because we are doing the interrogative statement, and just to put the interrogative statement as the startup and just to beginning of your statement, was she, put the verb after the subject, was she singing a song, and the question mark. The students also did a mistakes that they do not put a question mark at the end of in the solving statement. So here's the necessity to put the solving statement, just showing that we are doing the interrogative statement. And the example we have just by using the WH family, वो शोर क्यों मचा रहे थे. Now that this statement is about the so many boys, not only the single person, just to highlight the क्यों, क्या, कैसे WH family words very first before the helping verbs. Firstly put here why, and then to put here the helping verbs, because रहे थे, we are talking about the plural one. So add here why were the boys, the subject after the helping verbs, making noise, and put the question mark. This is the description of the present past continuous tense and the past progressive tense. Justly we did about how can we guess this one is a past one, how it's different from the simple past, and how we can judge that this one is a continuous one. So we did about the identification. We have raha tha, rahi the. The helping verb we have was we use with the he, she, it, I. Verb we use the plural one and the you and they. And the second, the formation. How can we form this sentence? Formation is very easy and quickly we can solve while using the some points, few points in which includes just to put the subject, identify where the subject, then add the helping verb, then put the object and the as well the original verb. The last one, your students, your assignment is just to solve the 15 sentences for the each part, affirmative, negative and the interrogative, and convert it into the past progressive tense, past continuous tense, and submit to your teacher. Thank you.